Hey guys, it's Spilly and welcome back to Spill Sesh, and we are continuing the conversation about the Ace family because they are starting to talk about the reactions that people have had to their most recent video talking about why their home foreclosed and what the heck is going on, why it happened, and all of that jazz. I recapped this in my last video when I talked about them posting the video Our House Story. They talked about how they felt like they were scammed out of millions of dollars by the builder, like the contractor, the real estate agent, so many people. Now, there are rumors going around that since they did buy the house under their company, Ace Hat Collection, the rumor on the street originally when Austin and Catherine had bought this house, they claimed that they were only going to be using this home for filming purposes and not actually to live in, which could definitely explain why they never were able to get the certificate of occupancy the entire time they were living there. And had they had this, they would have probably had a very different experience living in this home. Getting permits would have been easier, getting a loan would have been easier, everything would have been easier. So right after they posted this video, there were a ton of positive comments, a lot of people just showing a lot of sympathy towards the Ace family, and Austin put on his Snapchat story, "Always remember, we're human just like y'all. We go through tough times just like y'all. We have bad days just like y'all. But we choose not to share certain aspects of our life because that isn't what we're here to do. That isn't what our content is about. We've always kept it as positive as we can to bring positivity to y'all. At Catherine McBroom and I made a promise to each other to help others by being a positive light in their lives through our content. Not to talk about drama, I just hope you guys understand that in this case, with our home, we had to. We were forced to share our story because of how people tried to create their own narrative about our life. Have you noticed that we never create drama to monetize? Others do it to us. Finally, glad we put it to rest. Thank you all for understanding. We love you all. P.S. We back on our..." Austin keeps saying that people are trying to switch the narrative, but the narrative that they said that was wrong was that people said that they weren't paying their bills and people were saying that their house is getting foreclosed on.
Catherine, there's a lot of rumors that your house is getting foreclosed. What do you have to say about that?
It's not true.
It's not true?
No, thank you.
Those things happened. Catherine literally admitted in their video that she tried to pay the mortgage, the check came back, and she just decided to live her life.
I pay my mortgage like I do every month. If you know me, you know that I pay my bills. For people to say that we don't pay our bills and that we're going broke, it's so crazy. It just goes and then it comes back. And I'm like, what the hell? Why did this money just come back into my account? So then I'm like, whatever, you know what? I'm just gonna freaking keep living my life, keep doing what I do, just freaking be positive, just stay positive, Catherine, stay positive. And then one day, I'm on like Instagram or something and someone goes, "Why is your house under foreclosure?" And I'm like, what the hell? My house under foreclosure?
Because they couldn't find a lender. Like, what the heck? Anyways, on Catherine's Instagram story, she said, "Thank you guys for all the support in the last video, means so much. Before I put this behind me, I'd like to share some other issues we had that we didn't add in the video. I know I don't need to, but it's my choice. Hopefully it can help others who are home buyers or future home buyers. And no, I don't want anyone to feel bad for me. This is not about that. If it was, I would have shared this all years ago. And for those are criticizing our decision and blaming us for the issues, shame on you. People need to understand that this all started in 2018, 4 years ago, when I believed in people. I believe that people were good and honest. I believe that I was around good people, but we were taken advantage of. It's caused me to move differently and change my trust due to life experiences. It was a learning lesson. It's so nice to finally speak my mind." And Catherine went on to share more proof of how bad the house really was and how bad their living situation was in this $10 million home. A lot of people have been saying things like, you know, why couldn't they just move? You have hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars worth of cars in your front driveway, but you were living in this home that had no gas, no hot water most of the time. Obviously, it was a choice to stay and deal with those problems. They just loved the house so much and wanted it to work. But there's so many people that are like, come on, you have 3 babies to take care of. Let's be realistic. Hot water, being able to cook. How about safety in general? But clearly they were going to stay in this house until they literally could not because it foreclosed and somebody bought it. So that's the whole situation. Although Catherine claims that they could have stayed in the house if they really, really wanted to and really, really tried to, they would have made something work, but they got a new house. And in the new videos that Catherine started sharing, she said, "So this was my sink in master bathroom just a couple months after moving in. Builder used cheap material everywhere and charged us more than the value. My sink was leaking for months and hard to fix, so make sure to always look over everything. Another said leaking on both sinks. This one says main door was not only cheap material but also terribly made. That's like an inch between a door when closed. That was besides the warping from the heat of the sun. My floors when I moved in by my toilet were scratched from poor moving it incorrectly. Another door made incorrectly, so much space in between where water came in and insects. I asked so many questions and asked why things were done so badly from the beginning. This was me asking builder why the frames were different colors. Come to find out he painted them black to save money.
I don't know if you guys missed this. Over there.
They're very sharp.
I will say that I've seen people throw out the theory that if they did in fact say that they were originally going to just use the house for filming, the contractor, the builder, whoever they were working with to continue building this home because they bought it and then continue to build the house because they bought the land when the house is not ready yet. If these people were under the impression that they were only going to be using this house for aesthetic purposes and not actually living in it, this is how they probably got scammed into having like the worst materials ever, because these people were just like, oh, they're never going to actually use it. They're not going to live here. They're just going to film it. So if it looks fine, that's all that matters. Let's pocket the rest, which is so effed up. But I could definitely see that being something that happened, which yikes all around, honestly. That's super effed up, but I could definitely see that being the case. So once Catherine was sharing those extra videos, she also decided to share messages between her and her dad. I guess Catherine's dad was commenting on things defending her and Austin against a lot of people that had a lot of doubts, people that were suspicious when it came to their story. So she screenshotted their text and it was lengthy, let me just tell you. Long story short, he was trying to say how effed up it is that people don't believe them and that people are laughing at them and saying that they deserve things and not understanding the law and all of that. And he says that he would usually ignore these types of things, but he just had to respond and defend Catherine and Austin this time. So after a lot of Snapchats, clearly there was a lot that Catherine wanted to say in post. People did start to ask Catherine questions. So somebody said, girl, I feel like you're losing your mind trying to convince or explain yourself. You're never going to win against the 8 billion people in the world. Let go and put your focus. And Catherine responded, did not take this well, and said, what are you saying, Lucy? I haven't spoken up about anything for the entirety of my career as an entertainer. I've been quiet for years, so if I choose to repost my dad's comment defending me, or if I choose to speak up for once in my life, I can. There are millions of people here watching my story that are happy to finally see me speak up, and it won't end here. I'm no longer going to allow people to bully me and my family and take advantage of us, and I'm not losing my mind. If I had that quality, I would have a very long time ago. Somebody else said, these people sliding up sounds so weird, and Catherine said, there's not too many, but what I learned is when you speak up and show vulnerability, that's when people get fake offended or try to bring you down. I'm the opposite. I lift people up when they are down. What quality are you referring to? I'm genuinely curious. She said, losing my mind on social media, meaning I've kept my composure for years and dealt with things privately. Everyone loses their mind. We all do, LOL. Catherine then shared a photo from what I believe is the new house. I saw the screenshot going around on TikTok, so that's why there's a question there. But Catherine on her Snapchat story said, now I can finally take a warm shower in my new house after almost 3 years of living in misery with so many problems. The word misery had people in the comments thrown for a loop. People on TikTok were just like, misery? Misery does not look like a $10 million home. We have different ideas of what the definition is there, but it's clear Catherine and Austin are sticking to their story and don't want to mention they bought the house under their company and have made no mention about the conversation surrounding them saying they were not going to live in this home and that it was for filming purposes only, making permits harder. I don't think they're ever going to touch on that subject, but I guess we will see, since they are being a lot more open about what is kind of going on in their lives right now. They did say that they were going to be way more private about where they're living this time around. So I'm surprised we even got this picture, and I don't really know how they're going to continue vlogging if they're not going to show the house, but that's pretty much what is going on with them. This is definitely, once again, I've said it a million times already, a horrible situation. I don't wish this situation upon anybody, to have your house foreclosed on, to lose your home, dealing with banks and lenders and all that stuff, dealing with scammy people. Like, that's just so effed up, and nobody deserves that. They have freaking kids. Like, nobody wants to see kids not have a roof over their head. So this is definitely a hard lesson to learn, it seems like, to just not just trust anybody. I definitely want to know what you guys think about how Catherine and Austin have been responding since their video has gone up. Let me know in the comments down below. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.